So video coming out soon. It's going to be about making a paint carrier. We've done the video up to this point. I tried to keep it as short for y'all as I possibly could, because I know some of them get a little long. But for anybody that wants some extra explanation or wants to know how to make this look pretty, it's whatever. I went to the Dollar Tree. I got some vinyl sticker paper for like $1.25. It's sparkly. We're just gonna hang out, wrap this thing up, take a thumbnail, and because this entire build was done on a budget, I just bought a cheap set of Dollar Tree razors that I'm gonna end up losing before the night's over, I'm sure. This seems to be the way it always goes. Alright. I've actually never tried one of these, so this will be interesting either way for me. These little cases should have like magnets in it or something. There's nothing there to hold the blades. Alright. Okay. Got us a little dollar store X-Acto knife. A roll of vinyl cling, which is another product I've never really used. Okay, we're going to move this out of the way. How are we going to do this? I guess first things first, I need to figure out how to peel this thing. We're learning. Oh, it's actually not as hard as I thought it would be. Okay. Got this. All right. Let's see here. Is it going to be this easy? That would be cool if it's this easy. Oh, it's so thin. Okay. Okay, looks like it's stuck. Cool, cool, cool. Just a second go. I know I'm going a little overboard with this, but, you know, why not? I did try to pick a pattern. This is vinyl, by the way. I tried to pick a pattern with vinyl. That way I wouldn't have to worry about seam lines and all that kind of jazz, because, you know, that's just more effort. Okay. this back up, because there's no point in throwing it away. Apparently this stuff's made for vinyl sticker printers. Another one of those things I've never used, but you know, maybe one day. You know what, we're just going to set this in here for now. Alright. Making pretty. Actually, let's just... Ooh, it's got vacuum. Rotate it. Same on the other side. Just rub it with our thumbs, get any wrinkles off. Oh, it really wants to stick to itself. It's kind of like playing with duct tape. It's got a little forgiveness in it. It's not very extreme. I kind of like it. I can see applications for this in the future. I could even see using this for masking, like painting a car or something like that. Okay. Now let's seam it all together. Do this first corner down here. Fold the vinyl in on itself. Oh, y'all can't see. All right, rotate it. Find your corner, stick your knife in, drag across, then fold the vinyl in on itself. Oh, it's hard to do it when it's away from you. And there we go. Just rub it in with your finger. And we'll come to this corner. Pull. All right. Go. I'll try to keep things in camera view. Leave that end up, fold this end over. Perfect. Go ahead and do this one while I'm right here. It's just easier for me to get to, not pointing it at the camera.
Sorry.
Alright, same deal. Now we'll take our side flaps and roll them up like we did earlier. Then take the ends and push them in with our fingers. Other side. Ba, 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 ba. Now our two ends. For some of you out there that paint canvas, this is really feeling similar to making a canvas. Okay. Should have brought some tape. It's funny, because of the holes drilled in it, it actually has a vacuum feel to it. Like I can feel it sucking to the table. It's an interesting feeling. Oh, let's get us a bottle. We'll start at the end. Placeholders.
Are you painting today?
No, videoing.
Videoing.
I'm live streaming right now.
Oh, shoot. Hello, live stream.
Yeah.
What you painting?
I'm not.
You're not?
No, making a carrying case.
Making a carry. Oh.
Video will be up. Maybe tonight. This is just the decoration phase of it.
Alright.
But long story short, this goes inside of this.
Yeah, you know, I have that carrying case that I use, but it's definitely cheaper to get that right there.
Well, this is $10. Well, actually, I think they're half off at Michael's right now, so it might be $5 for that. This is a piece of SPF pink foam board, and I think that was $6.
Could you watch my backpack, by the way, while I go to the bathroom real quick?
Sit it there.
Thank you.
It ain't going nowhere. Welcome to the wonderful world of live streaming in public places. Really decided I needed to get out of the house.
Thank you.
Yep.
The other one's worn off, so I was just like, they don't want to smell the room.
Girlfriend not come with you?
Not today. No. She wasn't feeling too well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she chooses when to stay or go. So it's just not like I force her around, you know?
Boy, my wife does. That's why I'm here.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you know, the only reason I actually started getting out and coming to places like this was because my wife demanded that I get out of the house and socialize, or else I'd turn into a hermit.
Valid. Yeah, I gotta get started on the next tournament round, but...
How about it?
Hey, good talking to you, Jeff, like always. How you doing, by the way? like health-wise. Okay.
I'm videoing.
All right, valid.
Well, good thing is, majority of y'all won't watch this, and you'll just skip through a lot of it. I don't really talk about my personal health or anything like that on stream. I gotta be honest with you, it's been so long since I've heard my real name, I've just about forgotten it. But there it is. I'm just using these bottles currently as placeholders, so I can see if I've missed a spot since I've put this foil over it. But this is all just random stuff that I really don't use all that often. So I figured it was better to make a carrying case for it, just throw it in a bag and let it sit. It also lets me see any place that I've missed. Oh, wrong bottle. Grab some more paint. Go. At first I was just cutting X's, but in all honesty the star pattern looks a lot better. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't care a whole lot what this looks like. It's just storage. If I'd have spaced them apart a little further, I probably could have put little polystyrene tabs on there and just painted color samples on it. Might have been a smart idea. I guess we could talk a little bit about some of these paints as I'm putting them away. So, bronze and copper speed paint. Metallic speed paint is a real hit and miss. If you're the kind of person that likes to paint model cars, fishing lures, things like that, you'll probably like metallic speed paint. But if you're painting miniatures, it's really hard to beat stuff like Vallejo Metal Color, the originals. It's just the coverage is so much better in the base paint. While on the topic of metallics, you really shouldn't run metallics through your airbrush. And the majority of what I'm going to be putting on this when I actually start using it, other than just throwing a bunch of random stuff in here, the majority of what I'm going to be putting in here is probably going to be metallics, because they're not something I use very often. Yeah, another one. If the colors looked as good on a figure as they do on a model, I'd probably be ecstatic about it, but they really don't. Do I have any tone in here? Oh, there we go. People all the time looking for null oil. I mean, even this isn't something I really use very often. But this is, I feel like it's actually better than null oil. You do have to thin it, because if you don't thin it, it's too dark. I might use this for washes too. But by the time this video is over, this whole thing will be put together and it'll be in a case, and it's going to look a lot fancier than it should, even though it doesn't right now. It will later. Intensity ink. It's a decent product. It's not a good beginner level product. Just like anything, you kind of have to practice. Sorry, guys. You might have to stop watching YouTube videos and actually try something out of your wheelhouse. Just throwing that out there. Turbo Dork.
Really? I left my deck box over here too.
I did not. Just carry it in the bathroom?
No.
Turbo Dork is also something I don't use very often. It's not a bad product, it just doesn't give the effect like it shows on the label. And that's with any of their products, like their color transition products don't work the way that they claim. This 10-star, the label looks like chrome. The product definitely doesn't look like chrome, it looks like a gray. As a matter of fact, it looks a lot like this. It's just, if you want something that has a lot of glitter in it, then Turbo Dork's good. If you want something that looks metallic without looking like it's made out of glitter, or a paint that looks like it was born from a glitter bomb, Turbo Dork's probably not the paint for you. Yeah. Again, it's just another one of these colors. It looks beautiful. Then you put it on a model and you're just kind of disappointed. It really depends on the application. Like I said, a lot of times paints like that look great on certain specific things. Like, again, model cars, where it's common for cars to have a large amount of glitter in the paint. Especially if you're trying to do candy colors or something like that. A second. So, if it's something you're used to seeing, cars. Okay, let's hit cars, I guess. What you, the audience, primarily knows as candy, like candy apple red, colors like that, they're not actually candy. Usually, the candy that they put on modern cars is not true candy. What it is red paint, a lot of glitter, usually gold glitter, and a lot of clear coat, which, by the way, is gonna peel off over time, especially if you keep the car outside, because that clear coat's, I mean, it's just not that great. So let's say you want to paint a car and you want to get a true candy apple red. It's obtainable. It's completely doable. First, you paint the car or whatever it is with, depending on the color you're going for, either a silver chrome or a goldish chrome. If you're wanting candy apple red, gold chrome is the direction to go for, because the gold really complements the red. But you definitely want that color as bright and shiny as possible. Then over the chrome, you would paint a transparent red, like and this is not something you want to try the what do they call that garbage method where you just thin your paints? Slap chop. It's not a method where you want to use slap chop. You need to use a contrast paint for that. And you don't want the paint pulling up in the little recesses and stuff. You want thin, even coats, so best to put it on with an airbrush in that situation. And you can thin it down. As a matter of fact, the more you thin it down, you'll probably end up doing multiple coats, but it will look better. Scale 75. It's a great product. Don't see it very much anymore. It's not my favorite product. They do eventually have really good starter sets where you can buy like 100 bottles or 200 bottles of paint for next to nothing. Like, you get 150 bottles of paint for you know, $99.99. Everyone, Scale and Vallejo will both do that on occasion, and it is a good deal. Not knocking it. So here's another problem. So metallic speed paint. I don't know what they were thinking, but they came up with some of the worst metallic colors ever. They're It's not like they look bad on application, but trying to use them to paint a figure is like trying to figure out where in the world are you going to put that color of paint. Because the colors are just so odd. You know, a weird looking green metallic. It's really difficult to think of places where you can use something like that. Maybe for spell effects or something would be pretty cool. There's another Tello bronze. Speed paint first came out. I got sent a package in the mail, and I test run the original speed paint many months before it was released, and I actually gave it a fairly negative review. The product just, it was not a beginner friendly product. You know, it reactivated, it had all sorts of issues, and most of those issues y'all know by now. But you know, I sent them a letter and talked to them through Facebook, a few other things. And Army Painter is they are extremely customer friendly. It's not like dealing with GW or Citadel, which was very pleasant. But Army Painter does make an extremely good product at a good value. It's a better value than most brands of paint, because if you go much cheaper, then you're running into paints like this, the Reaper paints. Reaper paints are a love-hate for me. Some of them are decent. Some of them are gel-based. Some of them are water-based. The product is all over the playing field. So it's hard to do a review on their paint. It is some of the cheaper paint you can purchase, but at the same time, you kind of get what you pay for. And in their specific situation, sometimes what you're paying for is you don't know. Their bottles are not labeled well, is probably my biggest complaint. Apparently this little symbol actually means something other than the state of Texas. But they have 6 or 7 different lines of their paint, and it's all stocked on the shelf the exact same way. And it's incredibly confusing to find out, am I getting a gel-based paint? Am I getting a water-based paint? Gel-based paints are good for things like wet blending. You know, water-based paints are, well, I mean, they're kind of the catch-all. That's your Citadel and your war paints and all that. Basically, they're water-based paints. We're just going to take these and move them down here as we go along. We'll pull from the top, because I only brought so much paint with me. I wasn't sure how many this was going to hold, to be honest. I do find myself over the years using less and less and less Citadel paints, especially Citadel Metallics. Citadel Metallics are my least favorite metallics. Uh, Citadel has the worst white paint on the planet. And I know there's some hardcore GW guy out there sitting there screaming, oh, they reformulated White Scar and it's amazing now. No, it's not. It's not amazing. I've tried it, my guy. There's a reason why I'm using Army Painter Matte White. Army Painter Matte White is obviously my favorite white currently. There are some new products out that I am going to be testing in the near future. There's a new model train paint that has come out, and I'm kind of looking forward to trying it because it has some interesting colors that I haven't seen from any other line. Like one of their colors is a natural red clay brick color, and in the hobby you're going to paint a lot of stuff that looks like bricks. You know, whether you're doing dioramas or just base terrain, whatever have you, bricks are a commonplace thing. There's some really nice earth tones. There's some colors that they have that are just so down to earth. It makes me wonder why other companies haven't done it already. So that's where we are with that. Long story short, it just has some very interesting colors, and I'd like to see how the product works before I say, hey guys, try this. Because while the colors are great, and I can see the function in the colors, the product might be terrible. Secret Weapon, I don't know if they even exist anymore. I haven't seen their products in a long time. Some of this paint, I'm either just going to throw it away or give it away, because I'm just never going to use any of it. Chrome metal, Green Stuff World. It claims to be an airbrush product. It is not a gravity feed airbrush product. It is particularly meant to be used through siphon feed airbrush. It is not healthy to use it through a regular airbrush, and if you do try, don't do what I did and cut on your spray booth and try to use it, because you can literally the particles floating in the air like glitter, and when you're done, your whole body looks like somebody sent a glitter bomb to your house. It's also very easy to breathe it in, and that's never a good thing. But it is a good quality product, and it's not as good as the chromiest chrome, but it's definitely, let's see, you got the chromiest chrome. Actually, this would be third place, because you have Mirror Paint, Chromius Chrome, and then Green Stuff World Chrome, in that order. So if you're looking for a true chrome, mirror paint's the way to go, but it is extraordinarily expensive. And unless you're just really serious about your hobby, I don't suggest paying for paint by the gram, because it's just, yeah, it's way too expensive for what it is. And this third-rate paint will definitely suffice. Okay. Here's an interesting product I'm sure a lot of you haven't used, and I was sent this a little bit before it hit the shelves. I think I got like 20 bottles of it. This is actually a really good product. It does what it says it does, but if you are an impatient person, you're already losing. This is not a fast product to do. This is something you use it, you let it sit overnight, you come back to it the next day, wash, rinse, repeat. If you need it to be more effective, add more. I've also found that while you can apply it with a paintbrush, it's easier just to squeeze it out of the bottle and put it in the locations that you want it to be in. It seems more effective that way. All right. Let's count this up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. So currently, this particular design, as it stands, holds 73 bottles. I have a spot here that I just literally forgot to drill a hole, and now I'm not going to worry about it. But if you do it in the way the video that I'll be posting shows and is instructed to do, this will hold 73 bottles as is if you buy all the same crap that I bought. All right, let's slide this over. Peel our little sticker off here. Whoop. If I can get it off. Oh, come on. Stickers being a nerd. All right. Little trick for these. Sometimes they don't want to peel up, and you can use the old sticker to just get the little pieces off that won't come off. This one, it's not too bad. Or did I speak too soon? Either way, it's still annoying. I'll have to get some cool stickers and shove all over this thing, because, why not? There we go. It's a Ta-da! We did a thing. Let's just lift this, and anything that falls out, falls out. Oh, well, it's all going to fall out. Later on, if we want, we can clear up some of these holes, get them cleaned out a little bit. For now, we'll put all our paint in here and give it the old shake test and see if any of the bottles knock over. Oops. Notice some of these bottles are a little shorter than others. Like the speed paint bottles are at least 1/8 of an inch taller than the war paints bottles. Turbo Dork bottles are a little fatter. And for you Citadel fanatics out there, you can totally do this with Citadel paint also. But for Citadel paint, I would just suggest a tackle box. Dropper paints have a tendency of lasting longer. So, yeah. It looks like one fell out. Oh, we got a few that fell out. Okay. So how to fix this? I have an answer. But I don't have an answer that I can do at this moment. So, the way we fix this new problem is we get a sheet of styrofoam poster board. We pull this back to the bottom. Some are different heights. The container does have a lip edge in the bottom of it, so some of the bottles sit a little wonky. And my hole saw was a little larger than it needed to be, but I was trying to do this as cheap as I possibly could for you guys. I mean, all this is less than $20 for you to carry your paint around in. I mean, yeah. Apparently it carries fine sideways. But if we lift the height of the styrofoam up, it will make what's going on here is the reason I chose this container for Michael's is because the height of the container. So if we maybe even put a little stick in here with a neodymium magnet in the center to pull the lid down, because I mean it is plastic. It does have some bend. But we can raise the height of the foam, put a sheet of styrene poster board underneath, and what that will do is it will lift the bottles up 1/8 of an inch, and that'll push the bottle caps up against the lid of the container, which will keep it from rattling loose. Another thing that could be done is put a piece of styrene up here in the lid and just drill little holes where the caps are and let it recess into those, which is actually not a bad idea. I kind of like that more, but I'm overkill. I'm overkill, guys. You don't have to be overkill just because I'm overkill. This is going to be more than good enough for your average carry around. But if you watch the video that I did for this, all of this isn't an hour's worth of work. I mean, getting this done and having it ready to use, if you have everything on hand, is about a 10-minute process to make this. All you have to do is draw your lines, drill your holes, cut the foam to fit the case you want it to go in. Getting the materials will take you longer than doing the actual project, honestly. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is on this end, it has a ruler engraved, and it has this interesting little lip edge that goes all the way around, and it's just a raised edge. Think about putting either a paint pad or a cutting board. Either one would be sufficient, and I honestly don't care what it looks like. This is just something to carry around. I should have brought more paint. I didn't. I also should have counted to see how much paint this thing actually held. But 73, 74 bottles of paint at minimum in this container, that's more than the majority of you are going to have. So I feel like it's more than sufficient, because the majority of you aren't going to have, 100, 200 bottles of paint. The majority of you don't need 200 bottles of paint. I'd say the average person, like in the hobby, at most needs like, and I mean, you'd be pushing it at most 30 bottles, because anything else, it's really hard to come up with an excuse to need more than 20 bottles of paint, just because there's so many. The only excuse for having so many different paints would be the simple fact that you're buying multiple brands or something like that. Ooh, my little Vallejo bottles fit in there upside down. I actually really like that, because I have to rotate these every so often. That's another thing I wanted about this case, was that I'd be able to flip it upside down. For those of you that have a paint rack, you should regularly rotate your bottles. If you don't, you just end up with really lumpy paint. Rotating your bottles won't kill you. Just look over there at your rack, flip the bottle over every once in a while. It's really that simple. It will keep you from having chunks in your paint constantly. Alright. So dollar store tools. No clue what I'm going to do with this leftover glitter wrap paper. Maybe use it as some kind of masking for a different project. We are going to cut it though. because, yeah, why not? And if I'm being serious, I should probably keep this because it is a gloss wax paper. I was going to throw it away, but it could be used for emergency wet palette painting on the road backstop kind of stuff. There we go. Just shove this in here for now. One of these days I'll sit down and make a Jazza style painting case where it folds open and up and down. So you have your roll of paper towels, you have a wash pot, you have a light and a battery pack. Because, I mean, it's really not hard to stick a battery pack in something. Maybe a little pull drawer in the bottom with a cutter. And then a place to keep all your brushes. Basically a mobile, almost a mobile spray booth, but more brush related stuff. Because it is good to get out of the house and hang out with people on occasion. As a matter of fact, some of us would probably never get out of the house if we had a choice. Me being one of those. I'm sorry, hitting stuff, picking up my trash. That's another thing, you guys. When you go out to paint, be considerate. Clean up your mess. Currently I'm at a shop called Gigabytes, and I always try to clean up anything I do. But I go to this place called Hobbytown regularly, and anybody that works on their stuff over there just completely trashes the place, and I've always hated that. If you're going to go out in public and you're going to paint and you're going to do things with other people, at least you can do is clean up after your damn self. You know, don't spill paint on the floor and say, oh, the guy that mops the floors will get it. Pick it up, wipe it up. If you're going out to paint, you're probably bringing towels with you. If you're a Gundam person and you're sitting there clipping sprues all day, don't leave your chunks of plastic all over the table and on the floors. If you spill paint on a table, wipe it off. Get a wet rag. I'm sure there's somebody close by that works there that'd be more than happy to just hand you a stack of paper towels and some water and even thank you for cleaning up. Because by you doing it, you're making their somewhat miserable job a little nicer. Oh. Well, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to take a thumbnail and get the other video ready to be posted probably tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds good. It'll be Sunday. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you're out socializing with your friends. And I hope to see you next time. So, with that being said, keep your brush wet. Practice. Take care.